Welcome to another video, and today I'm gonna give you 50 pearl tips and tricks. A very big shout out to all the people who sent in their tricks in the Discord server. So for this video I gave away 2 battle passes. Congrats to the winners. Now sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Let's start with a nice Viper entry on A side. Stand over here and cast your wall so that it goes through both boxes. When you do this you only really have to be careful for hull, so you can plant the spike over here. After that throw your smoke on the boxes and you've created a nice one way. It's a very good trick. But now I will throw the reverse Uno card. If you think an enemy is behind these screens, just wallbang it. These 3 walls are made of paper, my friends, so use it. Luckily you could always stand over here if you use the Viper trick. Now a nice hiding spot for Killjoy. If you plant the spike over here you could throw your nano swarms in the pit. When the enemies want to defuse, there's no way they can find your nano swarm, so you activate it and easy kills for you. About the pit, did you know that this was possible? When you plant the spike over here, for example, you could go to the pit, ping the spike and wallbang through the wall. Yes, this spot is so annoying, my friends. A perfect trick for little rats like Trixie. Just kidding about the rat, it's a good trick, keep using it. This next trick a lot of people were sending in to me, so I'm not sure who found it out. But what you have to do is try to plant the spike on this corner. It's a bit of a dangerous spot, so I would only recommend to do this if you know it's clear. In a 1v1 for example. After that, make your way to mid connector, place your wall over here and you can easily spot the spike. I know, it's a pretty OP trick. Not as OP as this one though. If you crouch you could stand over here with Jet. However, don't use this of course because it's a glitch. But knowing Riot, this will probably be fixed next patch, right? With Cypher you could actually place your cam in the window over here. I would not recommend to do it at the start of the round because enemies can easily destroy it. But when it doesn't get destroyed, you get so much information about when enemies are rotating, for example. And of course, it also works the other way around. A nice one if you're pushing A and you want to get info about A link. And let's do another trick about the gap in the wall. With Fate, stand on this point of the carpet, aim on the wood and throw your octopus. It will nicely land on the roof and it will spot people in restaurant and in middle. That's not the only thing. If you pick up an Odin, for example, you can wallbang through the wall and make some nice kills. I mean, look at this clip. Easy kills for Kenzie.
Where are we? Marked 1.
Not sure if this next one is very useful, but you might be able to use it in some situations. When you're sprinting with Neon, you could actually dash underneath the sewers. A 10 for style points if you get kills using this though. Now a nice Sage trick you can use at the start of the round. When the barriers are going down, throw your orb over here and the enemies won't be able to push quickly. So after that, simply place your wall over here and you've created a nice one way. It's a nasty trick and it works especially good with operators. Now let's talk about the boxes on A side. Everybody knows this variant. These are also on maps like Haven and Bind and you can easily wallbang through them. This thing however looks a bit more strong. And you're right, if you stand on top of this you are not able to wallbang through this box. However, here's the trick. If you go down, crouch and stand right in front of the box, then you are able to wallbang through. Now let's talk about chamber. Place the first half of your teleporter in B tower and the second one just in range in connector. When you do this you can go for an aggressive peek in middle and still teleport away. If you want to, you could even stand on top of these boxes and still teleport. Very nice, my friend. This lineup from Bobber must be the most beautiful lineup in the game. Simply stand over here, aim at the corner of the building and shoot your arrow with full charge and 2 bounces. After a beautiful flight it will land in yeah, it's a beautiful lineup but not very useful, my friends. But jokes aside, this one is actually useful. Stand in this corner, aim at the glass at the top left of the lamp and shoot your arrow with 1 charge. It will land on the building and it spots almost the whole A side. Now a simple Jet trick. You see these boxes over here? You can simply do a double jump and kill the enemy standing in art or indoors. Good job, Zenit.
Give me those back.
And let's do another one. In CT you could also use these boxes. Again, Zenit, well played.
Give me those back.
If you have skill, you could also do a race double jump from these boxes all the way to art. But I don't have the skill. I fail every time, man. Luckily, Dave can show you how it's done. And good luck everybody practicing this one. But in the end, you end up either on the boxes or to the left and you have a little bit of cover. With Viper on B side, you could go to this spot and aim at the corner of the lamp. It's very easy to find. Just throw your smoke and it will land on the ledge. And now you've created a one-way. Easy piece to make some nice kills. The enemies won't be able to see anything. You could also use the higher ledge for the Cypher cage. And the lineup is even easier. Just throw it against the building. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now you also have a nice Cypher one way. Now a nasty trick with Killjoy. If you want to retake A, you could place your ultimate over here. But you could also do 1 step back and then you create a small little gap where the enemies can hide. And you never know. The enemies might be stupid enough to go into that little gap. So you can simply throw a nano swarm. You don't even need the lineup and easy kills for you. And of course, when they don't go in the gap, it's still a good ultimate for the retake. And let's stay on B side for a nice trick from Yogurtu. If you place your wall over here, you could look through the window. It's a pretty cool trick. Enemies might think you just walled it off or something. Just don't use it too many times, but once or twice a game could work. And let's do another one on B. Here's an OP trick for the post plant. Simply plant the spike over here and use your wall on the rock. Then hide, and when you hear the defuse, kill the enemies. Just be careful, only use this one way if you hear the defuse and the enemies are standing close to the wall. If you use this trick to kill enemies standing all the way at stairs, they are able to see you, so that's not very smart. This Viper wall is very sneaky. Just wall the right side of B main and walk all the way to the end. This one is especially good in eco rounds and half-buy rounds, and you could get some nice kills with it.
They don't know you're there.
Toxin screen down.
Now a nice Yoru gate crash lineup. Simply stand at the bottom of the stairs and aim in the middle of that wall over there. It doesn't have to be perfect, and while we're following this gate crash, you have the time to like this video. If you want, of course, it really helps the channel. The gate crash will end up in hall. So you can use this lineup, then go to the other side to help your teammates out, and when the time is right, teleport and maybe flank the enemies from CT or something. Let's do a KO trick to kill the nasty campers in pit. If enemies are in pit, they're most likely gonna sit on this side. So what you can do is stand against this wall, walk a little bit back and aim at the top middle of the window. Simply go slightly to the right with your crosshair and throw your molly. As we know, the middle of the KO molly does more damage than the side, so easy kills for you. Now a nice Fate Octopus lineup to enter a side that it's not hard to remember. Simply go to this spot of the cables, you don't have to stand exactly on the spot. Aim at the corner of the cobblestone and do a jumping throw. Your octopus will chill on the balcony and it will almost spot the whole side. On B side you're able to jump on these boxes with every agent. However, these boxes are a little too far. Luckily you could use things like the neon jump for example to jump on it. But sadly you're not able to see a lot from this spot. Unless you are using the sage wall. Jump on the box and use the wall. When you do this, you not only have more vision on the left, but you could also look over the screens. It's so OP, I mean look at this clip. Whoa, was that too fast for you? Luckily, a wreck was not the only one. Good job, boys.
Unavoidable.
Or you can use the sage wall on the other side. Shout out to It's Fluffy.
And you make this jump right here. Then you want to do a grim wall. Then you got B main on off angle. I think it's pretty decent.
Yes, it's pretty decent. Nice one, Fluffy. This one is very interesting. If you stand over here mid, you can do 2 updraft and you can kinda see mid link, but not really. Instead, you could also stand on screens, do your dash and double updraft and you can see more now. You waste a lot of abilities though, so be careful with using it. Now, cool Viper one-way lineup I would really recommend to learn. Some people like to stand over here and we're gonna counter them. Stand in this corner and match the middle of your left and right click mouse button with the bottom left corner of the sign. When you throw your smoke, it will land nicely on top of the doors. So what you have to do is walk to the left side of middle, and when you're about to peek, activate your smoke and peek. The enemies might not recognize in time that it's a one-way smoke, so shoot and easy kill. About one-way smokes, yes, I know that one was a bit complicated, but here's a simple one. With Omen, you can simply clip your smoke in the wall over here. And that's it, it's so simple. This one is maybe a bit more obvious, however. I have to be honest, I didn't test them all, but here are a lot of sofa lineups. A very unique way of sending these, thank you Eon. Now let's go back to art for a nice trick. First, let your teammate jump on top of this box, and then place a sage wall underneath it. And now you can look through the gap. The enemies might expect it, so be careful, but hey, easy peasy. Now a super simple cypher one way for if you plant a spike over here. Stand in this corner and aim a little bit above the second roof tile. When you do this, your cage will land on the roof and easy peasy one way for you. Just be careful, only use this one if site is smoked for example, otherwise you're standing a bit in the open. Let's do a nice killjoy setup on A side. Place your alarm bot against the barrier and your Nanus farm a little bit in front of it. And when the barriers go down, throw a second Nanus farm behind the alarm bot. Wait till the alarm bot goes off, activate it and peek. There's not really a spot where the enemies can run to. This one is simple, with jet, do 2 updrafts over here and you can look on A side. But what you also can do is updraft on these boxes and ask a teammate if he can put a wall under you. Now you can look all the way to the back of side. And a simple one, when the spike is planted over here, just use your breach aftershock. Easy peasy kills for you. And this is it my friends. I want to thank everybody so much for sending in their tricks. Congrats to It's Fluffy and your moms for winning the double giveaway. And I see you guys in the next one. Peace.